Alexander Solzhenitsyn once said that his obligation to the living outweighed his obligation to the dead. It was, if I remember correctly, a justification for self-censorship. Since the military is conscriptive and like nothing better than self-censorship, we should pause a little bit about what Alexander Solzhenitsyn revealed about people. Because if we know anything about Seattle and media, the sandbaggers, the sandbagger-la of alt media, we know that these are perverts who will use anything you say to destructive advantage over innocent people. When we're faced with the horror of a monster following a monster with monster intents, as we are with Biden and Trump, our souls are retching with pain for the loss of Gaza and the horrible insults that brainwashed nobodies heap through social media on the lost to Zionist cannibals. And it's very important to understand that the magnitude of the crime that was committed portends the threat of continuing. And the message is, woe to those for whom the obligation for the dead outweighs the obligation for the living. They want silenced the meaning of Camila Valieva's fall in the 2020 Olympics, 2022 Olympics. It led to the discovery of the fourth wave psychologist Ouspensky and the tactical Nazism of Yoko Ono as a brain trust of legacy Hollywood, tracing to a counterfeiting den after World War I in Fayoum, where Gabrielle D'Annunzio inspired Mussolini and D.W. Griffith. The era of the great dictators got off the ground in a counterfeiting den with the great epic Hollywood studio system simultaneously. You can confirm this Rat Pack by looking at Disney's Mein Kampf, Nazi Germany, Donald Ducks, his friendship with Sergei Eisenstein, with the leapfrog oligarchs behind the scenes, with their vicious, violent pandemics, their hatred of the human race, particularly the poor among us, for their lawn mowing routines in places like Ukraine and the Middle East. The message is leapfrog oligarchy behind the scenes, operating in a room behind a revolving bookcase in Access Hollywood, in which we have peered with insightful research to find the truth about the Kennedy assassination and John Lennon's disappearing act, his Houdini, which gave endless license of the criminally insane at the Jeffern Corporation to attack innocent people and heap slanders and venom on them I'm particularly violated because they chose me as an object when I was still in the cradle. The University of Pittsburgh breeded me like a vivisection monkey for the Zionists to experiment on. And behind them was the legendary King Crimson, working with Milton Sharp. They used me for the British revenge of Nazi industrialists, bankers, and spies beloved to Duke Edward and the Castle of Windsor. And they made it into a game. The pervert who descended from hell, Tony Levin, lives in an upside-down world, promoting Gail Burstyn, who wrote a script he claims was evidence in something that never even happened. Lenin's Houdini was what was real. And so, because he made everything up, it makes no difference to him who gets punished, who gets tortured, who feels pain. For him, it's all what they call a narrative. He works with Brian Eno and Roger Waters, congesting the algorithms of TikTok for the Genocide Peep Show. And then gets Galloway to remind people of how romantic the spin that was put on World War II by the band that was named after Hitler's Volkswagen, the Beatles, put on the historic legacy as royalist fascists. They led American youth down the swamp of drug varminty, poisoned them, tortured them, heaped on us pitiless perverts, and then made it into a satire they call a narrative.